Here is our 24-week baby bump. Got crazy Calvin in the background just doing whatever he wants. Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing our 23 and 24 weeks pregnancy update with baby number 2. I've got Calvin. He's a year and a half now, running around like crazy back here. So he's got my snoogle, he's got some books, some kind of activities are going on over here. So if you hear him or see him, that's what's going on. So 24 weeks, like that sounds crazy. For some reason, I didn't realize how close we're getting to the third trimester, but the third trimester is like at 27, 28 weeks, and it's like less than a month away, and it's like totally crazy because I mean, yes, I like so can't wait to see baby brother Aaron, but at the same time, I'm like, this is flown by, and at the same time, I'm like, holy crap, why isn't that over yet? It's like unbelievable how many different feelings you can have about the same thing. Like, how can I think that it's felt like forever, and yet why is like and yet like totally flown by at the same time? Like it's just crazy. So 24 weeks, still in the second trimester. I have definitely been feeling some aches and pains the past couple weeks, and it makes me feel like I'm 9 months pregnant, but we're not there yet. My hip has been hurting. My left hip hurts a lot, and my lower back hurts a lot. I ordered a support belt off of Amazon, and I'm still kind of working with how I like to position it because I like it low to like hold my hips in. Like it feels good to have that little bit of pressure on my hips, but that's not really, it doesn't really help my back a lot. So sometimes I have it like low on the belly while high on the back, so it's kind of angled, and then other times I like it, you know, more around the belly. And so I'm still kind of working with what I think works best for the positioning of that belt. Some days I feel like it's doing something, some days I feel like it is not helping at all. And wearing it like at work, like in the afternoons, I kind of get tired of it being on and I want to just take it off, and it kind of like irritates me to just have that pressure, you know. And so it's still a work in progress trying to figure out how exactly I want to wear that belt, but at the same time it can help some days. I needed something, so I was like, I just gotta order this. I don't remember feeling this bad with Calvin though for some reason. I mean, I know that I had some aches and pains, but I just feel like it's like much worse than it was with Calvin. I did have 2 doctor's appointments last week at 23 weeks and 1 day. I went to the maternal fetal medicine office and then immediately to my regular OB afterwards. And my husband Justin was actually homesick that day, so he stayed with Calvin, so I didn't have to drag Calvin to both those appointments, which I thank goodness for, because sometimes Calvin's cool and sometimes he's not. So it's a lot easier to just not have to worry about bringing him. Hi. 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 So at the maternal fetal medicine office, my cervix was measuring 3.8 centimeters, which is good. They said baby Aaron is weighing about 1 pound 7 ounces, which is a little bit ahead, but he has been measuring like a week ahead the whole time anyway. Plus Cal was a big boy, so I mean, my regular doctor, when I told her that they said he was weighing 1 pound 7 ounces, she already said he's definitely gonna be over 8 pounds. He's gonna be a big boy, just like Calvin. So, were you even watching where you were going? He was totally not even watching where he was going. So I was not looking forward to having her measure my uterus because I know it's big. It's already like halfway between my belly button and like my boobs, so it's a lot bigger than it should be. But she didn't sound very concerned about it. I actually met with the midwife this week instead of the regular OB, and she's like she's just way cooler. She's not as like worrisome, and I don't know, just meeting with her is a lot more calm. But she didn't seem very concerned because I told her Calvin was big and this baby was already measuring big, so she wasn't very concerned. I didn't get exactly the number on however many centimeters my uterus was measuring. I don't know exactly. I didn't ask her. I didn't really want to know because it always stresses me out because I always measured big with Calvin too. And that is kind of a fear that's always in the back of my mind because my waters, I started leaking fluid. My waters broke at 32 weeks with Calvin, and because I had been measuring ahead the whole time and had borderline high fluids, I always just kind of felt like maybe that's why my water broke early. And so that's always in the back of my mind that if I'm measuring big this time too, what if it's all gonna happen again? And that's not what we want. I don't want that to happen. I am still taking the Makina shots weekly. My husband is giving them to me, and hopefully that it's supposed to, you know, strengthen the sac and whatnot. So hopefully that helps prevent things from going the same way they did with Calvin, but it's just always in the back of my mind. So I don't necessarily want to know how big I'm measuring just because it's gonna make me worried. We got a good profile shot of Aaron last week, and part of it kind of looks like Calvin did at that point, but it kind of looks more like my profile. Well, Calvin looks exactly like Justin, my husband. Like, he's literally a freaking twin of my husband. But I think that Aaron's profile looks a little bit different, so he could possibly look like me, which I'm kind of excited about. I don't want to get my hopes up like too much, because he could just end up being another twin, but like I was showing my sister pictures and she was like, dude, that's totally our nose. Like he's not gonna look like Justin. So kind of got my hopes up a little bit. So perhaps we could have a baby who looks like me and not exactly like Justin. I have had my first leg cramp this past week. It was just a couple days ago, a couple nights ago. I was stretching out in bed and I feel like that stretch kind of caused it. So I haven't like woken up to one in the middle of the night like I did with Calvin, but I have gotten my first one. So I thought we were doing pretty good. I was like, man, maybe I'll get away without having these leg cramps, but I guess not. Also, I've been getting some zits in like the lower face section lately. Don't know what that's about. That's like a place that I usually like never get zits. Like, I mean, except for like right on my chin. But I got one like right over here, one over here, and one over here, and I'm like, what the heck? One kind of random thing that I did want to mention before I left is that in the very beginning I was worried about Calvin, about like replacing Calvin as the only child, like stealing that title from him and stealing his like whole world where he's the only one, you know? I felt like really guilty in the first few weeks that I was taking that away from him. And I'm so fortunate that I have not been feeling that way so far later on in the pregnancy. It was just kind of those first few weeks when it was like really hitting me that like we're not just gonna have one baby, that it just kind of was like, holy crap, I'm like ruining his life. But now I'm just so excited. I like really so excited to see them interact and see them grow up together. Like, me and my sister are so close and we're about the same amount apart as Calvin and Aaron will be. And the fact that they're both boys, they're both of the same sex, like I'm just so excited to see them grow up together and be like best friends. Like, I just like really do. Like, it's gonna break my heart if they like hate each other's guts. And I can't wait to see how they interact when Aaron is first born, because he's just gonna be a little tiny baby, and Calvin really doesn't know what it's like to deal with little tiny children, you know. And so it's gonna be an adventure, and I know there could be some serious struggles, but it's still like really exciting. Like, I'm just super excited to see them together. I know we still have several months beforehand before that even, you know, it's still like, it's at least 3 or 4 months away, you know, but it's just exciting. It's super exciting to think about. So Calvin's starting to get into everything, so I'm going to get going. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did like it. Let me know what other kind of mommy related stuff you want to see on this channel, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
You say bye? Even though you're mad at me for taking all your stuff away? And then toothbrush? Brush. Good job.